Welcome to episode 15 of the Slabbed podcast, where me and Professor Oak have already been talking for about 3.5 hours. So let's jump into this episode. Where the grades matter, there are no rules. Mr. Professor Oak knocked it out of the park last week with his spicy topic. I will let you run through that. How you doing, man? Oh my god. All right, we're done. Just end it. No. You don't do that while we're recording.
I want another. And it deserves a dab. I don't know if that's 2 wins or 3 wins. I don't remember. I've won a couple of them now. Yeah. Spicy comment. Guys, miscut and error cards are the biggest bags of all time. I've got to, before we get into the actual topic, I've got to make what would you call it? An apology. I got to say sorry. I several times vented frustration at the word bags and how much I hate that word, and it shines a negative. I know there's people out there. I know you're laughing right now because I've said it, but I know there's people out there that won't have forgot those comments. I do still hate it, but in the light of spiciness, that's why I was using it. I don't. Yeah, I don't love the bag word, but miscut and error cards are bags. So let's get into that. Here's something. Just for a little bit of context. If you look on eBay, you will see sold listings of common, uncommon, reverses, holo rares, cards that aren't that particularly special, selling for more if they're miscut and OC than the regular card. And that really bothers me. And I tested it this week with our little spicy comment. I tested it. I had a Sylveon from Pokemon Go and a Lapras from Pokemon Go that I had ripped on Mason, Cardinal Gaming. Shout out, Cardinal. He ripped it for me when Pokemon Go was released back in YuGiOh days last year. And there's a couple of cards in there. There's quite a few cards actually at OC. I got a bit of like an OC ETB, really. I think it was an ETB that they ripped for me. And 2 of the cards, I was like, I'm not bothered about Lapras or Sylveon. I don't need to hold on to these forever just because they're from Mason. Like, he understands. So I, as a tester, I looked them up on eBay, how much they're selling for. The lowest listed is 99 cents. If you guys don't know, eBay won't let you sell something less than 99 cents. That is the lowest list you can sell. You can start an auction at 1 cent, but for buy it now, you literally can't list for less than 99 cents. So they're selling at 99 cents. As a test, I listed them, these OC ones. They were shifted to the top. There was still some yellow at the top. They weren't fully crazy, but they were just off center. Like, they just weren't centered top to bottom. They had a real thick bottom and no print dot or anything, just off. List them at $1.99. So over double, a penny over double more. They're both snap sold.
Undersold. The hell are you doing?
Right? Like, should I have done $4.99 or like? I literally doubled the doubled. I mean, I'm doubling $1, so it's not crazy, but like doubling a card that's probably a 10-cent card. I would imagine if you go on TCG players, those guys are worth nothing. I mean, the holo, but like everything's pretty much holo. Like, at the moment, there's so many of cards in sets that are holo. $2 for Pokemon Go Lapras plus shipping. Like, I don't know. The whole thing's crazy. So for me, after that little test and knowing that a miscut or just a mostly off center card will sell for double what the actual card is worth, that really says to me that there's a market there. But the spicy topic says it's a bag. So that was my opinion, right? Is that I think they're bags. Like, I would never buy one. I think that's ridiculous to spend that much money. I wonder if I should have sent it to auction instead of buy it now. Maybe, like you're saying, Greeny, like maybe I undersold. Maybe it's worth $2.10. Maybe it's worth $6. I don't know. Whatever. But it sold for a minimum of double of the other cards. That feels wrong. I don't know how to put it into words. I don't know if bag is the right word. I don't know if maybe I should correct my comment, but like something feels messed up there, right? Like, what's your thoughts on that? Have you had experience with miscuts, like off centers and stuff? I know you've had some misprints. I mean, you even posted a video today about the YuGiOh misprint, but miscut
Yeah, this
stuff.
one's MC, no OC. They put OC. It's bullshit. But yeah, there's like no border on the one side. The card's awesome, but I think they look cool. I'm a buyer if it's cheaper. So like in sports, it's freaking insane how it's completely 180.
Yep.
I can get a PSA 9 rookie card of any Detroit legend for PSA 8 or 7 prices of the same exact card. So I can get a PSA 9 OC Steve Eisman rookie card for the same price as a PSA 7. I'll take that PSA 9 OC card all effing day.
Brilliant.
Like, yeah, the card is mint. It got the 9 because it's OC. Like, you can't get a 10 OC. It's not a thing. Sports cards, people, they're too extreme. I think the balance is somewhere in between. Somewhere, like, I feel like it should be about the same, maybe a little bit of premium. Just because they're not everywhere. Like, obviously, there's more of the standard one available. If you want to go buy one, it's easier to find a standard one off the shelf. On eBay, it's harder to find the OC9 because there's just less of them because they have some type of quality control sometimes. But yeah, I dabbled with it. I purchased PSA 9 Cora Mew once. That was OC. PSA 9 OC. That was really cheap. He was selling it for like just under a PSA 9 price, and then I sold it for probably $100 profit because I knew the market was out there for it. So, I'm a fan in selling them because they do sell for premiums. I'm not a buyer, like you had mentioned. I'm not going to be the guy unless it's sports. I see it because there's value there. It's cheaper than the direct PSA 9 non-off-centered card. Like, I definitely would take the off-center mint card. I don't give a crap about the eye appeal because it's mint. The corners are sharp is all I care about. So it's weird. It's weird.
Sports like perfection, right?
Yeah, and it's really weird. What do you think? Why? Like, what do you think the psychology is? Because they all come off the same mother effing printers. Why do they care? It can't be OC, whereas Pokemon people are like, or YuGiOh people are just alike. I just joined like 2 days ago a YuGiOh error group. It's the same as the Pokemon TCG misprint one. It's same size, 14, 15,000 people. Like, people are out there looking for this stuff. And in sports, it's non-existent. It's friggin' wild.
I honestly, I don't get it. I think it's interesting, and I think I would be inclined. I mean, that Pokemon Go miscut off center, whatever you want to call it, that OC Lapras, $2. I mean, it's harmless, right? It's $2. It's really nothing crazy, but there are people that are paying tens, hundreds of dollars for graded. Like, if I'd have graded that, would that have been worth $50? Like $40, $50? Would it have been worth more because it was an OC grade? I don't know. Maybe it wouldn't have sold. Maybe it would have gone for $10 at auction or something. Who knows? But it is super interesting that there's such a large amount. Like, it's a big volume of people chasing that stuff. It's not just a couple of people.
Yeah, there's a bunch. Yeah.
Like, that was a guy. I'm not going to obviously not dox him or anything, but there's a guy in an apartment in a state long away, and he's like just like, I guess he's just like collecting like OC cards. I don't know. He bought like a $2 OC Pokemon card of Lapras. I don't know what's happening there. I don't know. Maybe it's an OC set he's trying to collect. He didn't buy the Sylveon. Someone else bought the Sylveon. So
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, I think it's just errors in general. The error collectors are just in the thick of it. Like you were in the niches of the niches at that point. If you're error collecting, the one obviously that comes
Is
to
it
mind.
niche still? There's so many people doing it. Is it still
Yeah,
niche?
it's not. Yeah, it is because you know what you're looking for. Like the super like niche like errors. Like, oh, this one is 1/10 different shading. This one's got a double hollow Neo Rev. It's got 17 more sphere bubbles on it. Like, dude, what the? Take it. I don't even know what you're talking about. Take the shit. I
You
don't want it.
know, what era I really love is what you were showing earlier, Hollow Bleed.
Oh
That's an
yeah,
error. That's an error I can get behind. Not OC cards. OC cards for
yeah,
me are like it's a bag. Even though you can
yeah.
make money in it, like I still there's cards that I see sell that are thousands of dollars that I would look at, and in my head I don't associate the word bag, but I'm like that's a terrible purchase. I can't believe people are paying that for that card, which we assimilate with the word bag now, obviously. But like $2 Lapras Pokemon Go card for me seems insane. Like, sorry if you're a listener. Like, I know who you are that bought it. I apologize, but you bought it. like I don't want to say like that. Just seems crazy to me.
Yeah, yeah. The hollow bleeds are way different type of error. The hollow bleeds, like the
Love it.
double print errors, where they're like overlapping each other. You got two cards on one. Like all of that stuff is pretty cool. But I feel like sports people would be like, "That's trash." They would literally pull it out of a pack. Oh, garbage, trash, like straight in the trash, which is
Yep.
really weird, really freaking weird. So I
I
feel
had
like I feel like there's definitely niche collectors in sports that do collect those, but it's more niche
mhm.
than Pokemon and Yu-Gi-Oh.
Yeah, I would imagine they're probably looked down on too, right? By the other guys. Like if they were in a group
Oh
and
yeah.
they're like, "Oh, look at my like weird, like whatever, like because of
Yep.
this or this is wrong or whatever," people are like, "That's
Yeah.
not perfect.
So
That's not
yeah.
black label. That's not PSA 10. That's not." Yeah, I think there's a little bit of like what I've really noticed because I've watched quite a few sports YouTube videos and like whatnots and stuff like that. They're just way more serious. Like they're a lot. We've talked about it before. I think we talked on it last time. Like they're just way more like way less candid, should I say? Way
Yeah.
less open and like they don't bring their whole selves there. They don't really. They talk a lot more about the card and the facts and the like what it is. And it has to be right and perfect and straight and a
It's
little
more
bit more
treated like a
just
stock.
yeah, like a bit more serious. And it's like it's a picture of a dude playing a game. Like it's not that serious. Like not to downplay you guys that collect sports. Like I got sports cards, trust me. But like Pokemon's the same. Like if Pokemon is like a made up like character, it's not even real animals. They're literally pocket monsters. Like it's just a thing. Like you can't take it too seriously. It's fun. Like let's talk about it and enjoy the artwork. It's art. Where I think with sports, it isn't art. Like even though photography
Yeah.
is an art, like I appreciate the photographers. Like they get amazing shots, and we've got great editors that do the different foil colors and patterns and shit. Like they do really cool backgrounds. Like I've seen some amazing sports cards. There's some really special ones. You've seen them. You know what I'm talking about, Josh. Like
Yeah. They
there
all
is
look the
some.
same.
No, there is some. I've
I
seen
know.
some really cool sports cards, and I
There's
think
some good ones.
there isn't even like rookie patch autos. Like we're not getting Totodile skin. Like we're not getting like we're not getting a feather from Quaxley. Like it's
Pete is gonna
that's
step
just
in.
you never know. Like that kind of stuff we're just not getting. Where so sports like is very different. It's not the same product, even though it's a trading card or whatever. It really isn't the same thing. So I understand why it's more serious because it's more human and real and like raw. Like it's like there's money on the line. It's a team that's worth millions and billions of dollars, and these players have paid millions, and there's all these things riding on it. Whereas like Pokemon is like it's a game and we have fun. It's silly characters. It is like very different. But I'd like to see I don't know. I'd like to see more movement on the sports side of stuff for miscuts and OC and stuff, I guess. But to be honest, like I just don't think they're that great. Give me a hollow bleed all day. I had a hollow bleed. What was it? I think it was a 25th Japanese Charizard, the 25th anniversary.
Yeah, celebrate or whatever. Yeah,
I think it was the
CP6.
Charizard. Yeah, that had the hollow bleed on it, and that looked magical. I mean, it was just so good to look at. It just made you feel good looking at it. It was such a pretty card. I should have probably put it in Discord more and made it more of a big deal about it, but it looked really cool. And that stuff I can get behind. But like, I don't know, miscut. Like, I know spicy topic, and I know one. I'm really intrigued on what you guys in the comments think. I know you guys are going to post a spicy topic this week, but like, I didn't see any responses to the miscut comment. So like, feel free to respond in this comment section. Do you buy them? Like, do you sell them? Do you think they're bags? Do you think they're great? Like, what are your guys' thoughts? Because like Josh and I, we've given some thoughts, and I don't know. This seems a little crazy to me.
Yeah, and just on a little bit more on the hollow bleed, I think like some of the most substantial ones I saw was the evolutions. For us, like in the English set, and like literally the Charizard, I don't have even the Zapdos PSA 10 and evolutions yet, but I'm kind of just waiting to find one that has an insane hollow bleed because it does look amazing. The creatures deck that came out, all of those have like an intentional hollow bleed, like there's a star pattern throughout the whole card. It's pretty dope. So but yeah, there's some cool error cards out there. Some weirdos, but collecting the shit. But it's pretty cool to see some of the stuff, and I definitely like seeing graded returns on misprints and stuff. It's really cool.
I wonder if that's why you just made me think with that. I wonder if that's why I like the EXs in Scarlet Violet so much, because they look like they have intentional hollow bleed. Like the whole thing is like story. Like they have like story pattern or whatever you call it. I don't even know the name of it, but it looks really pretty. When I open those packs, I put the Arcanine and stuff, Spidops, Arcanine, Great Tusk. There's like a couple of them, and they looked.
Yeah,
looks pretty sweet.
For giggles and shits, I just typed in sports misprint in YouTube. The first video, 2 years old. Next video, 2 years old. Video after that, 1 year old. I'm like, all right.
Yeah,
it seems about fit the bill then.
I've never heard a sports person get excited about a miscut ever. I've never seen a comment or a video or a picture posted or anything. I've never seen anyone get excited about it, which is, I mean, like I say, it's a different thing. It's definitely a different thing to the TCG stuff on the game side of stuff. But for Pokemon, I don't like, it's a physical deformity of the card. Like I don't know how much the difference between the two really matters.
Yeah.
Something's going on there. Something I'm missing. I don't know. Tell me, guys. Tell me what it is I'm missing. But either way, people agree. People agree, right? I won the comment contest, so
blew everyone out of the water. Like I had 8, and maybe a couple other people had 8, but it was a blowout right off the rip.
Wow.
That's what happens. People felt bad since you didn't effing comment on the last video entirely. So they're like, we're just gonna double it up. Yeah, we feel bad for this guy.
Those accounts.
He's got so much going on in his life. He can't even comment his own videos.
I made sure I did last week. Definitely.
I know you did. I was about to delete your shit too. I should have. See if you noticed. You probably wouldn't
have. Probably not. I don't think I checked it again. Terrible.
But yeah, everybody drop down a spicy topic, comment something down below. What's going on? It doesn't have to be Pokemon related, sports, anything, any type of different thing going on, video games, auctions, sales, something cool, man. Drop the spice. So you ready for the spicy topics?
I love reading them. I absolutely
I
love
know,
reading
there's
those comments. It is fun. I
there's
did
some
I did
juice.
go back. I say I didn't go back to my comment, but I do go back and I look and I see which ones you guys add throughout
Oh yeah,
the days after the video drop. It really is. It is it's fun seeing them. So thank you. I won, so I'm going to vote you to go first on this one.
sweet. Yeah, so this one's juicy. It's kind of something I not just found, but I've been noticing. If you have an extremely liquid card that is moderate play damaged, you should sell it sun faded to make max profit.
I'm in Florida. I think I've got the advantage there, but we'll leave that for next week.
Yeah, what's the sun here in Michigan? It just snowed today.
I couldn't believe that picture when you posted it. That was crazy. Yeah. Okay. God, I always want to talk about your comments every time you do it. I feel like we need
ain't
to do a
gonna
video.
because they're gonna vote for mine. They still feel bad for you.
No, stop. We need to do one on our failed comments because there's been quite a few where I want to start a conversation on it. For me, I'm going to say that Pokemon is. I'm trying to think. I had to word this clearly. There's going to be more waifu style cards and trainers through Scarlet and Violet than ever before. That's going to be the biggest focus. That's not the spicy part though. There's going to be more of that, but I don't think they're going to execute it well. I think it's going to be executed poorly.
Jesus Christ, that's another like 30-word effing comment you got to do there. All right, everybody, go like the your favorite spicy comment. Tune in like a week after the video post. Go see what's being like. Go drop some more likes. Do it. We love you. We love and appreciate all the support. Hit the like button. Hit the sub button if you guys are having a good time. We definitely thoroughly enjoy doing this every week. It's kind of our getting everything off our chest for the week, and it's good talking for sure. So we're having a good time still.
That's a good point too on you guys going back, because I know I go back and I check and see what it is. I'm sure you do too, Greeny. I know you've seen do it, but yeah, you guys should go back and see how your comments performing and see if anything else pops up. That you think's fun. Get involved. It is fun. I love our little game that we do. It's definitely enjoyable. So thank you. Do you like my T-shirt?
Bag, complete bag.
Came in a bag.
Paid full retail for that son of a bitch too, didn't you?
Free shipping. I don't know if it was free shipping actually. I think I paid for shipping.
Probably not. It's probably like $20. Probably the price of the shirt.
I feel like it was. Yeah, I think it was actually. It was like $27.99 or something crazy for shipping. Yeah, it came from like Antarctica. It was like weaved by a polar bear or something.
Yeah. Did your kids see it?
That was good.
The logo?
No. Nobody's seen it yet.
Let me know if they think it's ice cream.
I will. I'll tell you what. I'll show them tomorrow. I'll let you know. I'll give you some feedback. I'll give some Dagreenshiz feedback.
Much appreciated.
Yeah, it's a good shirt. I like it.
I want to talk a little bit about Wada Games. Going to hop into this first topic because they dropped some news finally. Even though they were supposed to do it in January, they were supposed to do this official change. They're officially changing their slabs, their cases for their games. I'm going to try and insert a picture right here. They've pretty much slimmed it down. It is similar to the CGC video game slab. Is they've reduced so much volume and weight in the plastic. It's more sleek. It looks great. But it's interesting. Like pretty much anything that's submitted after April 24th, I believe it is, it goes into the new slab. Anything submitted today still for the next week, you're gonna get put into an old slab, which man, I would have to believe like they're getting like almost zero submissions. Like I couldn't imagine. Yeah, it's insane. Like it had to just like cut it right at the knees. There's no way they're getting. But at the same time, I say that a few people I made the post in your Discord. Shout out to that. We'll talk about it more. People were reaching out. They're like, "Man, I'm so sad. I'm gonna submit all my games right away. I need to go get them in the old slabs." I'm like, "What the f?" It's crazy. Like, it's really weird. If PSA, imagine what would you do? Like, if PSA said, "Hey, we're completely changing the slab. It's going to be a little bit smaller. The label's going to be black now. It's going to have a black ring around it instead of red." Would you take your collection of Pikachus and try and like convert it to the new slab, or would you hodl what you got? Like, what are you doing?
Yeah, I got some thoughts on that. To answer the question first, I've bought old. So there is old labels of PSA cards that I've had, like old numbers and old versions. I haven't had like the first gen PSA label yet. I don't think I might have had it on a sports card. I feel like I had a really old cheap sports card I got for like $8 or something, and it was like first gen. It didn't even have like a hologram on it. I don't think it even had a hologram or anything, if I remember right. It was like pretty basic, but it was sonically sealed. It was secure. And I didn't like have any intention of I need this to be in the new version, the new slab, whatever, because there'll always be a new one. They're gonna keep updating it for security and whatever, for the look, make it cleaner and sleeker, whatever. Like that didn't even cross my mind. So for me, not personally, but I have seen a lot of people say that it's called reholder, right? Where you submit it, they'll put it in the newest version. Like that's a legit thing. Like a lot of people really want that. So there's definitely a market for it. You just said yourself, like people are literally already talking like, oh, I need my game to be in, I need the one I'm selling or the one I'm collecting, whatever, to be in the newest box, newest set, whatever, the newest look. I mean, great. Like it's still the same grade. It's still the same card. It's slab with this, whatever product is within it. It's still the same thing, but it looks a bit better, probably. I mean, that box does look better. Like it does. Like it really does look nicer. So if you're displaying it, I mean, I get it. Like if people are looking at it and seeing it, you want it to look special. Yeah, but I guess there's a price point there. Like, is it $10 or is it $100 or whatever? I don't know what the reholder price is, or is it the same as a gradient price?
Not announced yet. To be determined. They haven't officially announced pricing.
Because I think that does make a difference, and I do think there's something to them trying to make profit on something they've already done, like that. Like because PSA does it.
That'd be dirty, if they're trying to profit off the reholders, which most times I've seen companies, usually they're not, but
yeah, I'd like if it was affordable, I could get behind it. Like I'd be much more happy with it. But if they like if it's like silly pricing, I'd feel a bit gross about it. And the other thing for me is like those CGC slabs looked really nice.
Yeah.
Like now they've got competition. Like now we've got competition. Like who are we going to submit games to? Like what is it you're looking for? Are you looking for like the best resale value, the best displayability, the brand? Because Water and CGC, they both have branding now. Like a lot of people collect only PSA slabs, a lot of people collect only CGC, Becky, SUC, whatever. Like there's a lot of questions of like, okay, like what is this going to do for that market? Like not even just for Water, but like just in general, the market. It's cool. It's exciting. I like change. I do like change. I think it's a good thing. It excites me. So even though I don't have like a bunch of graded games, I'm not invested in that, or literally or financially. I'm not invested in it, but I do think it's cool that there is a change and like there's questions about it. What's going to come from it, and like what are you speculating? Like what are you thinking? could happen? Do you think it's a positive thing, a good thing, bad for CGC, good for CGC, good for the market? Like, where's your brain at with it?
Yeah, I think it's great for video games that obviously CGC exists, and they're creating that competition because VGA wasn't really that competition. Like VGA was the OG grading company. WADA came in, swept them off. They were the only grading company. WADA came in, everything was modernized and efficient. Pop reports eventually came out. VGA doesn't even have that officially yet, so. So
VGA still doesn't have pop report.
No, so CGC doesn't yet either. They will probably this year, I would guess, by the end of the year. Everybody would be pushing for it, but I don't think that's going to be a killer if they don't do it this year. But I think it's huge. The competition, having those two mechas, WADA, CGC, pushing each other. CGC gave them a swift kick in the dick, which is why they changed their labels altogether. For sure, that's why they changed their slabs.
100%.
When WADA saw those come out, they're like, "Well, damn, ours look like complete shit," and they were right. They definitely look like complete shit. So, they're just, you could assassinate somebody with a WADA slab. You could chuck it at their head and they would die. So, I think the new ones might not kill them, might hemorrhage something in their brain, but it would not kill them completely. So that's a good change. Lighter, cheaper to ship, smaller, easier to ship. All great things. So, heard they speculating here, but they might have gotten rid of their QR code that didn't work anyway. So, I think that's kind of weird. I think having a QR code's nice because it can link you straight to the website, look at the population, look at the pictures of the slabs. So if they drop that, that's kind of an L. In my thoughts, especially being a company owned by collectors group. So
that can't be expensive to implement.
I know.
Surely.
No, you wouldn't think it would be.
Like you can Google free QR generator. Like you don't even need to pay for a QR code. You can just get them free. Like that seems odd. They would do that. Yeah, that's interesting.
So that, I don't know. It's awesome. I have a handful of WADA slabs that I would love to reholder if the price is right. I don't like the sense of, I don't like the way they look primarily, but also it would feel old, like they're old. But the big change is the way they are. Basically, they just look like shit. So
do you think there's novelty behind them being old though? Because I remember looking at old PSA slabs with that old cert and thinking like, oh, that's kind of cool. Like it's an old label.
Yeah. No. Okay. No, not me. Not me. It's not the way my brain works. I know a lot of people are that way. Like a lot of people want old cert PSA cards. No siree. Those ones are easier to fake. They don't have all the different things going for them for anti fakeness. So
yeah, I mean that's why they did it, right? It was security stuff mostly, I think.
Yeah. More security stuff in the newer slabs. So I don't know. It just feels like if you look at sold listings, a lot of the times for PSA, you look at old certs and compare them to new certs, and usually the old certs are underperforming. On average. Yep. Whether or not it's the condition of the card, most of the time it usually is. The condition might be a little worse, but on average, the older certs are underperforming the newer certs. Just the way it is. I see a way more posts of people asking for 7x cert numbers than people asking for 2x. So people want the new crap.
Circling back to the WADA CGC slabs for the games, those kind of bigger products outside of cards. If you had to explain to someone that knows nothing about graded games, you had to explain to them the difference between probably not VGA, but WADA now and CGC and these new slabs, and you had to advise them like where to send them. How would you navigate that conversation?
Where to send them in regards to the grading skills, or
if they were gonna just generally, like if they didn't know, they had a sealed Pokemon Yellow, brilliant condition, looks real clean, and you're like, dude, this is worth money, right? This is like a sealed, very desirable game. Like this is probably something good. Here's the two companies. this is why you should send it to them, and this is why you should send it to them. How would that conversation go? Because like, I feel like I'm not the person to talk to on that. I would definitely defer to you, and I'm just curious on like what would you do? How would you handle that conversation?
It's really similar to somebody coming to me with a P or with a brand new modern full art trainer card that wants to get it graded. It is, if you're trying to get the max profit, you're sending it to PSA to get a 10. Same answer for video games, but the grading skills are very similar, I would say. CGC and WADA grading skills very similar, but WADA's been around longer. They get max profit for their grading. So you would want to send it to WADA in the sense you're essentially going to get the same grade as CGC, call it the same because it's basically the same, and you're going to get the highest dollar value. I think tides could turn in the next 4 years, 5 years after the website gets produced a little bit more, the pop report, the QR codes, like just additional, but all the different things CDC is going to be doing because their website for the TCG is freaking phenomenal. WADA's got a long way to go. Their pop reports are still spreadsheet style that they update quarterly. So all this stuff factors in. They don't have pictures, I don't think, of every individual slab unless you pay for it. You got to pay for it up front for WADA games to get pictures. And I don't think it's not attached to the QR code. So only you, I think the buyer of that is going to get those pictures. I don't think it is available for you to see on a website if you now own it. You can't search it on the QR code, which is another flaw. So, yeah, definitely right now it's send it to WADA, max profit, but it could change here in the future.
Okay. So what I heard there was if you're going to sell water, if you're a collector and you want a better experience, a better slab, you want better data points to look at, like the just overall experience of grading it. If you're a collector, maybe CGC.
Yeah, I would have said that now, like in the current times right now, old WADA slab, new CGC slab, CGC 100%, which is where I've been sending stuff. All of my, because I don't grade games to sell them generally at all. Haven't done that yet, so I just been grading for the collection. So I changed completely. I went from WADA to CGC, but now WADA coming in with the new slabs. The first thing I'm going to do is going to reholder my current WADA games. And then I'll do that first comparison. I'll be like, which way do I want to go? Like, maybe I keep all the older games and the WADA slabs, the NES, and maybe I do all the DVD style 360s and PS2 and CGC, and maybe run it that way. That could be a unique way to do it. I could see me doing both, just like in trading cards. I have BGS, SGC, PSA, CGC. I have every grading company. I got Ace grading cards that have been gifted. Like I got everything. So I'm pretty unique in that sense.
Not everything.
What is that? Diamond grading?
This is Oaks Grading Company.
Oh, nice. Yeah, I don't have any of those yet. I was gonna say it was a diamond grading, but I got a diamond grading.
That's cute. Yeah, DNA made that for me. Had it made.
Oaks grading. Nice.
That's cute.
Come and do a we don't have enough grading companies yet. We should probably start one. Slabbed grading.
On a PSA stand. Yeah, we should. Slabbing. Slab your slabs with slabbing.
The niches get the bitches. That's the name of the grading company.
That's right. That's the slogan. We'll do a little asterisk for the I, so like it can be safe for work and around kids. Why not?
Yeah. There you go.
Business
no, it's got me excited. It's got me excited about video games and all that stuff, man. It's awesome for sure.
Yep. I think that's good. The explanation you gave, I think that was a good answer. Purely for profit, I mean, it seems like what is the way to go. But obviously, like CGC, they're a real player. Like there's resale value there, and maybe they're quicker, maybe they're more efficient by experience. I don't know, whatever. But maybe just preference. Honestly, like I guess time will tell with updates and changes. CGC definitely seems more into being intuitive and, the user experience, that kind of stuff. They seem to be more modern, like you're saying, more modernized. I mean, they came straight out with a great slab that you showed on your channel. Like it's there. So,
Yep.
yeah. You want to talk about the stolen cards of the week?
Wasn't me. Let's talk about this dumbass. You lead us off.
Oh, geez. I think what's the reason I think it became such a hyped up scenario and such a, oh my god, like a shock value, is just the sheer volume, right? It didn't just steal cards. Like, he didn't just steal a few cards. Like, he stole a lot of real big, heavy, like literal stacks. Very concerning, that the volume. Someone stealing a few cards or a sheet, whatever, report them to Pokemon, report them to police, get them fired, whatever. Like, you're a bad person. Like, don't do that stuff. Don't steal. Don't be a criminal. But the sheer volume that was on that table in that picture, guys, if you haven't seen it, you need to Google it or something. Like, you got to figure that out, because essentially what happened, for those that maybe aren't aware, if you've had a busy week and you haven't been able to catch up with Pokemon news, essentially someone stole a lot of Pokemon cards from the Fusion Strike set. I think it was like a year and a half ago or something. It was a while ago, and they stole a bunch of big hitters. They reallocated crap cards in the holders that for the distribution that basically builds the packs as it runs through the machine, and they somehow managed to switch something out, throw something in a pocket or in a bag or whatever, get a pile of cards out. I would imagine they've done it several times, like numerous times. By the volume, it's not enough to be able to carry or stash or not be in plain sight. I mean, unless they're in cahoots with security or the staff. We don't know the full story, right? We don't know what's happening, but there's at least one person that's accountable for it. So essentially stole a lot of cards from the printing company that I would imagine it's Millennium that was printing the cards, and tried to resell them to a GameStop, like the whole bunch, which is, I hate to laugh because it's such like a terrible situation, but like so dumb. It's like just the most ridiculous play I think you could have ever done with that scenario. Not only introducing like a third party into the equation that would clearly like inform the police and authorities about it, but like it would have been so easy to make money with that. Right. And it's so concerning that A, they were smart enough to get the cards, but B, not smart enough to do the right thing with them to actually pull it off. Very confusing scenario. A lot of questions. A lot of people are like, wait, what? What's going on? Shock factor. Seeing the picture of piles of cards. Like, just so much to talk about with the whole scenario. And I think for me, that's probably why it's been such a big blown up thing. Well, do you think it affected the packs and the market as a whole? It seemed like a lot, but in reality, there's probably a lot of Fusion packs, right?
Yeah, and I think because like, right, this happened a year and a half ago. Was the dude brought to justice? Were the cards recouped, or do we not even know that? Because I don't think he sold them.
Both. They did announce that they know who it is. They're working. It was already an active investigation before it got leaked. Yeah. So that's what's like weird about it, because now this is like kind of interfered with what was being looked at and investigated and trying to figure out the situation. Now everyone's blown up and talking about it. It makes it a bit like muddy. It's a bit more difficult to like figure out. but I know that they said they did declare that it was the biggest stolen property like recoup that they'd ever had in Pokemon history. Like it was the biggest haul. So, I mean, the picture looks big, but I have a feeling there may have been even more stuff, which not many people have talked about too. Like I do think that if it really was that big, I don't think they're talking in sense of, because here's the thing, you look at the table, you and I see value, right? We see, and you guys
all
in
the
the chat,
Espeons
you're looking at the big hitter. What Pokemon's seeing is that cost me a cent to make, that cost me 2 cents to make, 2 cents to make, 2 cents. Like in terms of the actual cards, there's not really any value left for them. There's value on the secondary market. That's a big value. Like for them, there was probably like $20 worth of cards stolen. Like let's get real. Like literally, it's like $20 worth of cards stolen. Like no one's talking about this stuff. Like I know we are now, but like people really aren't thinking critically about the situation. There's very little like loss financially in terms of the actual cards on Pokemon. What's really happened now and why they're taking action is the reputational damage on the brand. The IP is now hurt. The branding of Pokemon is hurt because a lot of people have seen that picture, and a lot of people are hurt that they didn't get their Fusion Strike hit that they thought they were going to get in their pack. That is a real big issue. But they did recoup those cards. They did get that guy to justice, and they're trying to figure out who else was involved because apparently they do think there's other people involved. So that's all we know. Like just in response to your question there.
Yeah, I wonder how that would be like in court, right? Like, so what point does it become a felony? What dollar amount? I don't remember.
I don't know. I think felony is state specific.
Yeah.
So I guess it depends to where the crime happened.
I was just thinking because like if it was, is it based on like the cost of goods or is it based on market value? Like I'd be really curious because
well, they don't sell secondary market.
Exactly. So the police are gonna be like, the dude stole $20 worth of product. Who gives a f? What are we doing here, people? Like, I'm not gonna chase. Why are we chasing $20 worth of product? But yeah, it's the reputation that got smacked right in the nuts.
And that's it. You got Pokemon, the biggest brand in the biggest entertainment brand in the world. They are the ones contacting police, lawyers, like whatever's going on there. It's the emotional impact of it. It's not the financial. It's not the packs. Like it's all about brand reputation in that situation. So yeah, that's really valid what you're saying there. It really is.
Yeah, it looks like $1,000 is a felony in North Carolina, which I think is where Millennium Print Group is.
Yeah, I mean, if you looked it up as packs, like if they said like you stole this many packs, like they could word it and navigate that situation however they wanted. Like I could see it hitting over 1,000 with how many cards there were.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Definitely. Interesting. I can't wait to see how it develops. Pokemon responded to the issue at the last regional, so I'll be interested to see if they respond to this. Like to see something public would be pretty cool.
Yeah, they probably feel really gross about it. I don't know, especially having just bought Millennium too. Oh,
yeah, their PR team's like having effing nightmares right now as we're talking.
I mean, it's on them. They can't point to someone else now. It was them. It was those. I mean, you own them now. Like it's Pokemon. Like you're the guys that let this person steal this stuff. Has PSA graded some? Has CGC graded some? Has PWCC sold some? Has eBay authenticated some? Like, I mean, there's so many questions we have. There's so many things rattling around in my head. Call that rattle. There's a nice video on it. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I don't think this is the end of it. I think we probably will hear more from somewhere. I don't know if we're going to get a full story from Pokemon. I don't know if we're going to get a full update. It's a climb.
Yeah, but
I mean,
the dude is literally the biggest dumbass, though. I could think of 1,000 different ways I could have sold this product and got under the radar. Like, Jesus Christ. Like, I was talking. Go ahead.
Mm-hmm. I was going to say big boo-boo. Big boo-boo.
Yeah. That's insane. You could have freaking Googled how to do it, and it probably would have told you Chat GPT or whatever that thing is now. It probably would have told you how to sell that shit under the freaking rug, but it is freaking insane, dude. Like, just call up 20 buddies, give each guy a stack, like split it. So each person gets one of each card. Each person send them in to get graded or however you want to do. Like, yeah, just come on, dude. Some brain cells. Dude walked into DFW Pokemon or Trading Card World, and if they're not taking it, holy cow, you're doing something wrong, because those guys will buy anything from you. So it's great, good work they did there. So awesome.
I think a lot of people are naive, and I'm included in that, in thinking that if you work for that kind of job, right? So that guy's printing or packing or supplying whatever his role, or she or they's role, whatever, in that department, location, building, however they're connected to the printing of those cards, and they're able to locate and capture those assets, hide them, and try and sell them, after. However that happened, it's easy to be naive and assume that they know about that stuff, right? Like, they know about Pokemon cards, or they know about trading cards, or grading, or selling, or anything. This guy knew nothing. Like, they weren't sleeved, right? That is rookie stuff. Like, you're trying to sell like really nice cards to a game store with unsleeved cards. I mean, this isn't 1999. Like, this is 2023. Anyone that's even remotely in here, I've seen, like, I just sent that miscut Lapras double sleeved. Like, it's an OC Lapras from Pokemon Go. I double sleeved it. This guy's got a pile of, like, Gengars, like, literally a pile just sitting there. Like, they're just insane. So it's easy to assume that they know about grading, they know about this and that stuff. Like, this guy's just a dumbass that stole stuff and trying to make a quick buck, which is really crazy to me. Because, like you say, if you Google search away, like, surely there's someone that working there that you could say, hey, like, how do you, like, make the most money with, like, good cards, and had a conversation. Oh, I'll drip in a couple to PSA, or I'll do this, do that. There's just so many ways that could have spiraled and become a bigger thing if that guy had some brain cells. If he shows up on my door, I'm not going to be happy. Like, I'm talking a lot of shit about this guy, but I mean, you're in agreement, right? Like, such a dumb move. So dumb.
No, I don't agree at all. He's the smartest guy in the world. Don't come to my house, go to his.
I mean, maybe he already made 50 grand. Maybe
he's probably printing,
yeah, maybe we don't know. Maybe he already sold 2/3 of them, like, singles. Maybe he already graded a bunch and sold them to people who CC. I literally have no idea. We don't have the full story. I don't think we'll ever get the full story. But there's a hell of a lot of cards on that table. Pretty concerning. So definitely something to talk about. I'm glad that it was leaked, that it happened. I'm glad that the picture's out there, even though it hurts and feels gross for a lot of people, especially people that did buy Fusion Strike and didn't get anything. And it does sting a little bit, but it's probably unrelated. Just to be reassuring, it's like, let's get real. Like, there's so many packs out there. Like, that one guy stealing a table of Fusion Strike hits probably didn't make much difference to your pack, honestly.
Yeah. I don't think it'll affect pricing much, if at all. Like, the Gold Star Legendary Doggos, the video that dropped, those thousands of those being on a table, some guys stole them. Those have gotten hurt, obviously. Those are the lowest price gold stars in existence. I don't see Fusion Strike getting slapped that hard. But
Well, that's interesting because I was thinking the opposite. Because with the old Gold Star video, he's flipping through that binder. I don't think they got that binder, right? I don't think Pokemon got that back.
no,
These
those got in. They're in the market.
So we know that they did get at least some of these cards. I don't know how many is sold, how many is hidden. Like, we don't know, but they did get a pretty considerable amount that I would imagine are just going to be thrown away, disposed of or whatever. Like, they can't just go put them into packs now because they're not new.
Yep.
I would imagine it would probably positively affect the market, the Signera market in that sense. The negative part for me is the brand reputation and the salty taste that people are going to have on Pokemon and for Fusion Strike. Like Fusion Strike sealed, you're always going to have a doubt about buying sealed product from Fusion Strike now. There's always going to be that little worm in your ear, that little niggling feeling of, did this guy like swap out all the hits? Is this why my box is going to be so crap? But the actual singles, I think people know that there's less of them out there now. There's going to be some mentality there. I don't know if it'll change positively, but I don't think it'll be negative single-wise. That's my thoughts.
Yeah, I think it'll be flat. I don't think it'll be positive, just in the sense, like, if Pokemon... Because, like, I think it was in Rattle's videos talking about the way they have their sorting machine set up. They have so many secret rares going into the boxes or whatever, into the next box. And if they're short, they're like, dude, why that? We got dumbass Tommy on second shift. He ran 20,000 short secret rares. Get in there, Carl. Fix it. What are we doing? Carl goes in there and fix it, slaps the shit out of dumbass Tommy, makes some more freaking cards. So I feel like they probably just did that. They just made up for the loss, ran an extra couple hours making up the secret rares. I doubt they were able to swap them in the sorters or something like that. Would be wild. We'll never know that ever. So we can just speculate. So for that reason, it'll probably never get. That would affect the pricing for sure.
I would love to know how.
I know, but we won't. Yeah, dude pulled up with a mail truck. All right, Tommy, hop in. Throw all the boxes in.
Yeah. You know those shows that my wife watches about women killing their husbands, and they have them in that room, and they're like telling you, they're like sat at the table, and they're like, yeah, he was like getting his cup of tea, and I figured I'd just like take him out with some knife to the throat or whatever, like all the crazy stuff. And they like start confessing at the table, and it's like that webcam thing from the the security
top right
camera
corner, looking down on him.
I would love to see that on the interview with that guy. Like,
fly on the wall.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Yeah, I got Tommy. Like you're saying, I got Tommy to help me switch out the stack, and then I pretended that it was like a fake peg leg. I've only got one leg, so I swapped it out with Pokemon cards. Like, it's got to be some like weird story going on, right? Like, it's got to be something insane. It'd be so entertaining to hear that story. Like, how? That was an insane amount of good hits.
Yeah. No, it was probably a girl stuffing them in their bust. Who knows?
Could be. Yeah. It's
won't
fun.
know.
It's fun to talk about, and that's why everyone's talking about it. It is fun. It's a crazy story. It's the biggest stolen story of history, right? In Pokemon.
Yeah, I don't think I've ever heard of YuGiOh having that problem. Just saying.
Yeah. There's still time.
Oh no, I did see something about what the hell? I'll have to look back, but it was like so similarly, it would be like Starlight Rares, Secret Rares getting stolen from YuGiOh, and I swear to God, I saw something about it. Just people having stacks of these Starlight Rares. I don't know if they had like God boxes or what it was, but it might have happened. I might have misspoke. It would make sense. So stole those two.
That phrase you just said, God box, God pack, God box. Do you think that's intentional by Pokemon or by staff?
You mean for the Japanese ones?
I can't see. No. I'm talking about English
Fusion
ones,
Strike ones that happen,
where it's like an error like there's been weird things happening with some packs.
Totally an F up.
That can't be
Gotta
Pokemon,
be.
right? Like Pokemon
It's
wouldn't
gotta be.
intentionally do that.
Oh no, for sure, no.
It's like you go to Walmart and you buy a bag of buns for your grilling burgers tonight. You buy a bag of buns supposed to 8 in it. They don't put 12 in it for shits and giggles. Like,
Yeah.
oh, I'm just gonna give you a little Brucey bonus tonight. You won the 12 pack of buns. Like, companies just wouldn't do that. It's not like that kind of thing. I don't know. It just seems odd to me that there's like speculation around that. Like, I can't see Pokemon ever doing that kind of thing. I know in Japan, I mean, we just saw it, with the 9 card set, in Japanese is beautiful. The Pikachu with the leaf and that did look great, but that was like intentional, and you knew it was intentional. It wasn't like a mess up or whatever. And they have the God packs, and that's like a thing. But in English, we don't have that. I mean, yeah.
No, I feel you, man. It's it definitely not intentional here in the US for sure. Anytime I've seen it, it seems like somebody effed up. Somebody got fired.
Yeah.
Dumbass Tommy.
God damn Tommy.
RIP. All right, man. Ready to move on. I wanted to talk a little bit about value purchasing and stuff like that. Just like messing around on PWCC, whatever, last night. Yeah, last night, looking at some of these freaking cards. So when I say value purchasing, I'm thinking like when I'm going through PWCC, filtering prices high to low, seeing these sold items like this card sells for $1,500 and also this card sells for the same price. Like there's 25 years of gap between them. I'm like, who the hell? So I'm talking like this Miriam full art card from the latest set in Japanese and a PSA 10's $2,000. And then we got the Iono selling for probably going to be about the same exact price in PSA 10. Absolutely insane. The reason I was thinking about it is because I just purchased a Super Mario Brothers 3 sealed off of PWCC last night for 1.5. $1,500. There's like 250 of them graded, not including the challenge sets, not including VGA, not including CGC, because those pop reports don't exist yet, really. But it's crazy. Like something from 1988 is that low population. It's such an iconic game. Not pumping it because I'm not selling it, but just it's weird thinking about ultra modern cardboard selling for the same price as these like historic pieces. Like
that's not it behind you, right?
No, this is a complete in-box one.
Okay.
Yeah, I can't afford this. I can't afford an original print Super Mario Brothers 3. That's what that is, an original print. Sealed. It's the low end's probably 25 grand. But yeah, it's I can't wrap my head around it. Yeah, it's like it's not just modern, like it's weird. Like I could see sealed stuff selling for higher, sure, some modern sealed stuff, okay, but these cards, we're talking about cards printed from a printer in 2023. The $2,000 attachment these people have to these cards is so weird to me. I couldn't go home and look my wife in the eyes after buying something like that. It'd be tough.
I think the pinnacle of it, I'm trying to think of my own personal version of that, like my own experience that I've done with like buying or selling. It always comes back to special delivery Bidoof and like just selling it for like $700 and something, and it was free. No chase. I didn't have to buy a pack or a box. I just had to spend $20 a Pokemon set. I think I bought like a t-shirt or packs or whatever, and it was a free card and I sent to PSA. It was like $20 or whatever, $50. And then I sold it for like 700 or something, like $750 or something. I don't remember what it was, but that like story, I've talked about it loads of times, that play, but it's just like the epitome of ridiculousness. that I optimized. I mean, and it's not crazy. We're not talking thousands. It's a few $100. Like it's a little bit of profit.
Yeah.
It's really nothing that special, in the grand scheme of things. But that, for me, percentage growth wise on investment, $20 to 700 is pretty insane. Like it's pretty crazy. So yeah, I can't understand it. I just can't. I just do not understand why people are paying that and happy about it. Like that guy left me excited feedback. He was like excited about it.
It's like in another, like just other examples. Like there's not, it's not like, it's weird because it's not crazy that the card costs that much. You know what I mean? Like the card is $2,000. The demand, I know the demand is there and why it's being driven that high. That's
Right.
why that costs $2,000. There is just that much effing demand for this thing, and then it just is that expensive. It just speaks volumes for how low the demand is for like that video game or other just pieces of Americana. Like there was a looking at the PWCC auction last night, there was a Masters flag from the Masters golf tournament in Augusta, signed by 21 champions of the Masters: Tiger Woods, Jack Nicklaus, Arnold Palmer, just all these huge names, and the thing sold for like the same price, $1,800. Those aren't flying around like a signed football. There's 21 names on this flag signed. Low pop, and just would be an absolute communication talking piece. Like if somebody walks into a room and sees that, you guys could probably talk about that thing for a couple hours. Like, and there's just so many of these crazy pieces out there that are so cheap.
I got something crazy. I'm gonna shake it up real quick. Moonstone. Literal moonstone. Like
Moon rocks.
you can buy pieces of meteorites, buy pieces of the moon, and that were brought back and stuff. I mean, it's not cheap. Like that stuff, like the good stuff, like literal moonstone. It's not cheap. You can buy meteorites. Some of them are pretty expensive, especially the ones with metals that aren't on Earth. Like I've looked a little bit, I've dabbled a little bit, playing around and researched it. There are some really nice ones, some pretty ones, some that are encased and slabbed, like literally. Some of them are set in resins, and there's a whole market. It's a whole different collectible like group of people there. But I can guarantee a lot of those you can buy for less than this, and that is something that cannot ever be created. Literally cannot ever be created, ever. Which is very special. Like something you're talking about. I've got shark's teeth. That everyone's got shark's teeth. You come to Florida, you go to the beach, use a little sand thing, whatever you look. I got shark's teeth that are 200,000 years old, worth 20 cents. That I just can't fathom why some of that stuff is worth such high volume, such high dollar threshold, and like people went to throw in it when there's like something that in the real world, like real things, worth such little. Like the discrepancy between them,
Yeah.
the disparity, I guess, is super interesting. Like the way the human brain works, right? I know Dan has talked on it several times. Like just people like want to throw money at things. They want to like feel attached to things and like just haven't touched enough grass. I don't know, whatever it is. I'm not trying to dig at people. I know like there's a lot of people that spend a lot of money on stuff. Like I've spent a lot of money on stuff like on my collection. But it's interesting like that they can target it on something that's like you say, is like brand new. Like it literally just came out, throw a bunch of money at it, raw. You're not even talking like black label. I know you've got some black labels. Like there's reasoning. There's like a mindset. There's a psychology behind that.
Mm-hmm.
Like there's something that you can hold a candle to there, right? But a raw card selling for $2,000 out the gate, yeah, it's crazy. throw it to PSA for $50, $100, and it's selling for $2,000. It just seems insane. Even like, I don't know, like you're saying with some of the games, like I've seen some modern games selling for $200 that literally are for sale at
Ultra modern.
Walmart.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yep,
I mean,
ultra
they're at
modern.
Walmart for $40-$50, and you could like the $200 in a slab. I can't get it. Like there's so many interesting, amazing things in the world you can buy for $200. Some pretty amazing stuff. Like if you really did some research in the world, you would. What got me started on that rant? I'm sorry if I'm ranting here. You're talking about like displaying that and like people coming around. You imagine if you had a piece of the moon in your freaking house. Like if people came to your house and you're like, hey, here's a piece of the moon.
The moon's a bag,
What?
though.
Stop. Can you freaking imagine a piece of the moon in your like next to your Roku? Like that is just ridiculous. Like just the thought of that is insane.
Built it into a lamp.
Oh my god, just absolutely insane. For me, that spending $50 on a moon rock compared to 50 grand on a Pikachu trophy, like I would, no matter how rich I am, I'd be way more interested in the moon rock. I would want to hold and look at that thing all day. I'd be obsessed with it.
You ever see the movie Joe Dirt?
I don't know. Did I? What's it about?
I don't even know. It's like the most.
It's about moon rocks.
It's one of the best. No, there's like a meteorite though. It ends up being like shit or something.
Oh.
That's what I think about when I see a moon rock. It's like
it's
like shit from a rocket ship that drops down to the earth.
Yeah, I mean,
probably is.
Interesting too. It's still interesting too.
Yep.
Yeah, I don't know.
Astronaut turds.
The world fascinates me. There's so much fascination in me so much inspiration when I see the world. Look at people and animals and like just literally the world, like physically, like what's going on with the world. I just can't. I can't justify crazy purchases, like insane purchases like that, unless I'm going to do something with it, or unless there's reasoning behind it. Like Black Label, you've got liquidity today, you've got resale value, that kind of stuff. But just a PSA 10 of a set card, just, I mean, that's mind blowing to me. I don't know.
So what is one random item you'd rather have in your house for $2,000 than the Miriam or the Iona? Non Pokemon card.
I would like item. Do you know what an arowana is?
Oh, what?
It's a really cool fish. Someone that's listening is going to know what an arowana is.
Is that one word?
Arowana, yeah.
Sounds like marijuana. It's like just dropping the M.
Yeah, similar. No, it's AROWANA, I think. Arowana. It's a really pretty fish. They get pretty big. Like you need a pretty big tank, and a golden arowana ain't cheap. Like it's the pretty special fish, highly respected in Asia, like massively respected. Something I've wanted. When I get a real nice big house, I want a real big tank. I've had a lot of fish tanks. For those that don't know, I'm a big fish keeper. I've been in the hobby for about 25 years. I've bred a lot of rare fish. I used to make money selling rare fish and to buy other fish. Like it's just one of the hobbies that I used to enjoy a lot. I actually worked when I was really young, running a fish store, literally. Like I used to run the store. A huge passion of mine. I've had amazing reef tanks, spent a lot of money and time on it. Like just really enjoy that stuff. For me, having an amazing, beautiful fish that I can care for and like just enjoy, sit and watch all day while I'm eating my dinner, doing this, doing that, like $2,000 very well spent. 10 years of enjoyment every single day looking at that thing. What about you?
Real quick, I just looked up the prices of those fish. They range from $300 to $70,000.
No, more than that. I just saw one sell for $220. I think it was the highest sold pet in history.
Oh yeah,
something.
world's most expensive fish costs up to $300K is the next
300.
article below that one.
Yeah, like they're like silly. They're silly. They get real
Why?
nice and real expensive.
They just look pretty.
Yeah, the variations are very one of one.
They're not like super fish that clean the tank, feed themselves. They're not
do nothing. Absolutely nothing. Yeah,
nothing
they're actually
fancy.
kind
It's
of
like a
mean.
goldfish.
They're not even very pleasant, honestly. They're kind of mean, honestly. But when we're talking like one of one, like there some of the patterns, the colorations, we can get the quality from breeding where they're that perfect. You're talking 300 grand for a pet fish. It's the rarity value, the scarcity, it's the condition, like it's all of that. It's built into so many hobbies all over the place. I'd happily spend $2,000 on a good old arowana. Happily.
I could never
amazing.
buy a living thing for more than $600. Life expectancy would just kick me right in the nuts. I couldn't. It'd be tough. It'd be tough to swallow that pill. So mine would definitely not be an animal. Something to have in the house, display, really cool. Like I don't know. I would like a cool piece of art. Honestly, something.
Mm-hmm.
I would. My living room's pretty empty right now. We moved here a year and a half ago into a bigger house from 700 square foot to what I have now. It's much bigger. So it's a lot of empty space. So I'd love a nice painting to have on the wall to be able to just fill some space, look really nice.
A nice Zapdos post up, maybe something like that.
Yeah, there you go. I got a handful of those I need to put up on my walls here, but man, there's some easy. If I found a really cool original painting, even if it's a local artist and I really liked it, I could see myself dropping $2,000. Obviously, I'm not going to get a Monet or some other freaking insane artist for $2,000. But if I get an original painting, I don't want to reprint. I don't want to print. I want the whatever it is, charcoal, whatever paint. Big fan of art like that. So I always go to like local art shops, walking in, checking out these different things, and seeing the people's work is really cool. So
you know what's so hilarious about you saying that? This is like such, I don't know if you want to call it a coincidence or whatever, but the one piece of like the centerpiece in my house that is like a real original handmade art is of a fish. It's literally what we both said. Like I said fish, you said
what
art,
is it?
and it's a tuna that was caught locally, and an artist uses a rice paper on the tuna after it's caught, and she'll trace out and like basically draw out the fish on it, and then she takes it, canvases it, and like literally turns it into artwork. She like turned it into a piece of art, and it looks incredible. I mean, it's gorgeous, and it's from a tuna caught in the ocean right here in Florida, like locally. Amazing. So my wife got me that for my birthday. I'm a huge fisherman. Like that's one of my huge hobbies too. Like I love fish, you know, like I was saying, and so that's like the main centerpiece in the living room. That's really cool. So that's just funny that you're saying artwork, and I was like talking about fish, and then I have the only piece of like good art that I have is a fish.
I have zero artwork outside of the things I've either commissioned that are 11 by 17. But yeah, we need to find it. We've been looking. We go into these stores, but they're all like prints, right? They're all these generic prints at Kirkland's and Pottery Barn and all this other crap. It just doesn't. I'm into it.
I've seen some good Giclée prints are pretty good. They're like look pretty real. Like they're pretty good quality. So yeah, just keep checking, looking.
Yeah, always looking, man. If anybody comes across some cool original print that would look good in the living room, let me know.
What you been buying other than moving on from that, other than like looking at some of these crazy cards? I saw you buy Mario. I watched that live. That was fun in PWCC. And
Yeah, Mario.
what else? What's going on?
Mario just bought that. That was the first big purchase this year outside of the collection. So I'm getting some of the collection stuff back that I got. Whatever, I got like 20, 40 slabs sitting in front of me, but it's trickling in. It's trickling in. I actually just got an email from PSA today about the first PSA return from that big collection. And it's the first time I've ever like shouted out loud in excitement from a PSA return. So
wait, did you see the grade you mean?
Yeah, I had to. I got upcharged, so it's some gas. It's some gas. I was excited.
That's a big change from the last one that you weren't too happy about, the big one.
Yeah, no, it was. I'm excited for sure. No, today has been a good day for me. And yesterday buying that Mario was really cool. So Super Mario Brothers 3 was like probably one of my most played games. That Grand Theft Auto and Call of Duty, probably my top 3 most played games of all time. I still play Super Mario Brothers 3 when I go to like my mom's cabin. She doesn't have internet, or it's her house now. She lives there, but I can go up there. I can play Super Mario Brothers 3 because they don't have internet, but I can still play it because it's amazing. I just spent so much time playing that. I could just look back, and I would love to get the manual. It's definitely going to be. It's on my list too. I want to get the strategy guide, whatever it is, of Super Mario Brothers 3 graded or something. Would be cool. It just
who grades manuals?
Super nostalgia. CGC. They do magazines.
They'll do game manuals and training guides.
Yeah, they do like. Yeah, they do like Game Informer magazines. They do Nintendo Power magazines. Yeah, Pokemon Power.
Oh, I thought you meant like an insert in the game box.
No, I'm talking like the actual like 8.5 by 11 strategy guides. That's like a booklet.
I see what you mean. I thought you meant like the insert of like this is how you turn it on and this is how
dumb as shit.
Yeah, okay.
Would be so.
That's why I asked. So I was like, yeah, I feel like that's
I'm gonna get the Grand Theft Auto Vice City map graded. Just open this giant D-size paper up.
Oh my god! No. I haven't seen that in a long time. Jeez.
The whole map. I had that boy pinned up on my board. I knew right where I was going. What about you, man? What's going on with you?
Yeah, you know what? I've seen a lot of stuff. I've switched up quite a lot, and I've been buying a lot of CGC. I've seen a lot of good cards in CGC slabs that are really undervalued.
For PC or resale?
Both. I got some stuff that I need to crack, some stuff that I can sell, have sold, will sell, like whatever. Like, yeah, just in general, I'm like, that card is worth more than that. So I just buy it. Like the Diglett I bought for you, I was like, this is too cheap for how cool that is. I was like, I gotta get it. I gotta buy it. Like I couldn't not buy it. It was just too cheap. I saw a couple of others. I was like, this is too cool. This is too cheap. Like I bought a Japanese, was it Dark to the Light or whatever? One of the very early Japanese sets, Jigglypuff for like $10, and it's a 9.5. It's like just ridiculous. It's just nothing. It's just fun, silly little things and a bunch of Pikachu. I'm always looking Pikachu, so I always got a stack of Pikachus there. But yeah, I've seen a lot of CGC cards where I'm like, this is just too cheap, and I'm obviously later to the boat than a lot of other people, but also, when I first started looking back in the day at the higher grade CGC cards, 9.5s. 9s, that kind of stuff, they weren't cheap. Like they did have a little bit of a premium. So like I don't want to beat myself up too much because I was like, ooh, like people really want that. Like the 8.5s were like obviously cheaper, but they were not the best quality. They were 8.5. So yeah, but I've been buying some clean stuff, pretty cheap. Like what I think is cheaper and valued. I bought one the other day for $29, and I flipped it on eBay for 50. Like it was just, I just knew it was too cheap, you know. And that seems to be happening like a lot. It's just having to like spend the time doing it, researching, looking, bidding, all that kind of stuff. It takes time and effort. That's the downside to it, right? You can't do that all day every day. So I mean, I'm at work. I'm all night every night. You know, I just can't do that stuff. But when you do see it, like you just got to grab it. And I've seen quite a few lately. So the more I've been looking, the more I've been seeing that stuff. So that's been fun with those kind of things. I like that. I feel like I've got a bit of liquidity now where I can like buy and sell. Like things feel a little bit like easier to navigate. Like prices aren't too crazy on a lot of the stuff that I'm looking at and playing with. So yeah, pretty chill, honestly. Nothing too crazy going on. YouTube, I have some videos planned, but yeah, nothing too insane. I actually I'm going to make a couple of videos about some cards that I think people should look at that I think are pretty cool. Some listings and auctions that I've seen lately, and I've kind of want to tell people, but I think I'm going to start making a couple of videos about them because some stuff I think is going a bit too cheap, and some stuff I think is going a bit too expensive. I think we should talk about those kind of things. So I was planning on doing some videos on that. Yeah, that's pretty much it for me. Nothing too crazy going on. I opened some Scarlet and Violet the other day on a live stream. That was fun. I've got a box break I'm doing. I don't know if you want to touch on that in here. Doing a box break for Roaring Skies, $20 a pack. If you message me on Discord, if you guys aren't in my Discord, in the Professor Oak Discord, it's not really mine, it's the communities. But if you message me in there, if you find me, there is a box break channel that I just created. I've got a couple coming up. I'm trying to make them as affordable as possible, where I'm not at a loss, but I'm not trying to like take money from you guys. Trying to make them like just doing it for the fun kind of price. You can jump in there and get involved. There is a bit of a explanation of how to do it. So we'll link that below in the description for those guys that have already bought packs. There's quite a few of you. I really appreciate it. I'm excited to do it. We'll probably rip it pretty soon. I'm hoping it's going to get delivered this week. It should get delivered this week. I did buy it, the box. So super exciting. Yeah.
No, I just want to shout it out a little bit more. The Discord's awesome place. You guys, we don't do it enough. Obviously, we got a swift kick in the nuts by a guy named Ernesto that we need to shout it out more, and here we are doing it. Shout out to you, brother. So yeah, it's awesome place, awesome group of people. So if you're watching this and you're looking for a community, there's a YuGiOh channel. The main channels are probably primarily Pokemon, but there's YuGiOh, MetaZoo. Hopefully soon to be a video game channel. We'll see. I'm working on the guy. So we'll see.
Yeah, I mean,
I didn't even think about one until now, but yeah, it's really cool. It's always adapting, changing. People, so many people in the community plugging their videos in the share tab, and it's all these different people creating content is really cool to see, and I thoroughly enjoy being able to watch all this different content that gets pumped into there. So definitely go check it out. At least a look.
You know what I love is you can at someone or talk about someone, and they're there. Like everyone is like super, I don't know, liquid, like available, easy to get to. It's just such a great place. You feel like you're sat in a coffee shop with like 200. I don't know how many people are in there. There's like quite a few people in there now. It's like a couple hundred people in there, and you can like talk to any of them at any time about anything. That's kind of how it feels. That's a cool feeling.
Yeah, that's cool.
So the reason I created that was because I couldn't find that anywhere. Like I didn't know that was anywhere that I could see that was as like blatant as like what I was hoping. So basically just tried to create that environment for us to like be able to talk and like have that conversation, and like everyone that's in it like wanted the same thing. So it just kind of like organically happened. There may be a little bit of rebranding coming. I'm still considering some of that, thinking it through in my head, but it's a pretty cool place. So yeah, guys, if you're not in the Discord, if you don't know what Discord is, it's an app. Like I want to preface that, it's an app where basically you can connect and talk with other people. You share pictures, stories, links, whatever. You just can kind of be in an environment with
Voice
people
calls.
like you. Voice calls, yeah, video chat, even if you wanted to, or on the flip end of that, you could be completely anonymous and just look and just listen, read, pay attention, just learn from others, hear what's going on. Like I know there's quite a few people that do that actually. You know, there's a lot of lurkers, but as soon as I do a giveaway, there's 60 people there. So I love that. I love knowing that there are people there reading and involved. So I appreciate every single one of you. So that's okay. Like if you guys want to come do that, that's good. I don't get anything for it. Greenie doesn't get anything for it. It's literally just like we just want you to be part of this community and this hobby. There's no ill intentions, not trying to like plug anything. There's no subscription or Patreon. One of the very few that
Yet. No, I'm joking.
No. I've sworn several times. Yeah, like people definitely know. It's it won't be a charged one. And if I do a charged one, you guys need to like
say there's a chance.
Have words with me. No, I'm saying like don't let there ever be a chance. Like I've swore, like I really have no desire to take money in that fashion in a conversation. So yeah, come in there, enjoy it. It's fun. Share pictures, laugh. We have a meme channel even. It's just silly. It's fun. There's a lot of cool people in there that I really am inspired and motivated by. I've learned a lot from. I think 90% of what I am in this hobby is due to the people I've been surrounded by. So thank you, everyone that's in there. You guys that are listening. I appreciate all of you. Greenie, you're part of that. So thank you. Yeah.
Cheers to you.
It's fun. It is.
Oh yeah, man.
Did
Send
you
us
want to
into
talk?
the night?
I don't know if you want to talk on heritage real quick.
No, fuck heritage. No, just joking. But yeah, heritage. Next week we're gonna kind of recap it but there is a heritage signature auction happening this weekend for video games and for trading cards. So next week we're gonna do a different kind of probably a different kind of podcast, kind of going through some of those things, talking about different prices of the stuff in the market. Probably some video games, probably more trading cards, and that'll be interesting. Looking forward to that discussion, and we'll probably be sharing the screen so you can see what we're talking about, and it'll be a little bit more fluid that way. So it'll be good. Looking forward to it.
Very, very exciting. Yeah, I love tugging numbers. I love tugging sales, what's working, isn't working, trends, that kind of stuff. So if there's anything that like we think is noteworthy, we'll be addressing that. I'm excited for that. There's been a lot of interest in sales lately. A lot of stuff that seems cheap or things that seem expensive. There just seems to be a lot of like uncertainty almost in pricing. Like if things don't feel as like clear, like people aren't sure if we're still in the boom, if things are declining, if rare things should still be worth more. It just seems to be a little bit all over the place. So I think that'd be good to talk about some of those numbers. I'm excited for it. Yeah. But other than that, thanks for chatting, Josh. I've enjoyed that. I look forward to your guys' spicy comments. Please, before you go, be sure to comment on that. Give your thoughts on any of the topics we've talked about. Love hearing them. We love reading through them and talking about them. It always provides good content for us, and potentially in the future, your comment will get featured. So that's another part too. We'll get an actual conversation about it. So don't be shy. Get involved. Get in the Discord. Link below. And thank you guys. Thanks for subscribing. Thanks for listening this long in. I appreciate it.
Have a good one, everybody.
See you
Peace.
guys.
Happy Tuesday.